Welcome to Step Into Your Story. I'm Carla Goldberg, and this is a space to breathe, listen inward, and step into the story your soul is guiding you toward. This has been a series about sacred geometry. We're now at the final episode of that 5-part series, and the shape that we're doing today, or icon, symbol, whatever words you want to use, is the tree of life. And today we are going to be walking through a journey of learning to grow in 2 different directions. And that's really what the tree of life is about. And I invite you to a area today that we're going to expand and make you, I'm sure, think of the tree of life a little differently than you have before. But before we get into what it all means, let's talk about what it actually is. So imagine a strong tree with a big trunk, and you can see the roots underground. It's like the earth has been peeled away, and the roots are going down below, and up above you have the branches, and it's like the full of summer, all the leaves are out. And a lot of times the tree of life, when you turn it upside down, it is the same image or very similar. So it's kind of like which side is up, which side is down, because the roots and the trees are like mirror images of them for some of the representation you will see in artwork and different things. So we have the strong vertical trunk. We have the vertical branches coming out, and in the roots, they're going vertical and diagonal, stretching out. And the tree of life is a symbol found in nearly every spiritual tradition and artwork. It represents a connection between worlds, the underworld, the earth, and the sky, all 3 of them together in one image. It's a reflection of your inner and outer life. Let your imagination just hold that shape gently in your mind's eye and think of that tree. And notice what stirs in you. What do you feel? Are you sensing the strong trunk? Are you sensing the stretching of the roots, the branches, the leaves trying to expand? And once you feel that shape, the next question becomes, what is it trying to teach us, right? Because it's great to have these different geometry and shapes and codes and different things, but we need to learn from them. Just knowing that they're there is just step 1. So the tree is an actual architecture of self and what that means. So think of the roots as belonging, memory, nourishment. The trunk, identity, coherence, your stability. And the branches are expression, expansion, and possibility. Lots of work is happening underground that we don't see. Just like last time when we talked about the seed of life, all that stuff is happening underneath. Even after, in the seed of life, after it pops up and becomes a plant, the tree is still the same in the sense that there's so much happening underground. It's not just boom, we pop up and we've ascended and we don't have to do anything else. We are constantly growing, and it's things others can't see and it's things you can't see, which makes it uncomfortable for our humanness. So that's a good reminder as to why we don't want to judge people, because there's so much going on that we don't see. And without the context of what they've been through and who they are and their challenges, it's real easy to judge. So we want to avoid that. And the tree of life is a reminder that your growth is not just upward, it's inward, downward, and outward. Because the trees, they're growing, the trunk is growing too, and the bark. So it's expanding in so many different ways. It's a great metaphor for our own spiritual growth and what should be happening as we're going through the process. And I want to encourage you, if you're used to not being seen, that you are allowed to take up space. Roots and branches are part of you. You are not a skinny little bamboo twig. There's more to you than that. And I want to encourage you to take up the space that you have. And probably a lot of you need to take up more space than you have been taking up, because you are important, and this is a space for you to step into. And you don't have to choose between grounding and expansion. You can do them both at the same time. So let's bring this out of the symbolic and into your actual life. So the tree of life shows up in seasons of growth and seasons of rest. Times when you're rooting deep before you rise up. And also there's pruning that needs to happen, right, along the way. And sometimes pruning is people around you. Sometimes pruning is things that are no longer serving you. And maybe that's social media or the doom scrolling, right? Change your feed. Get rid of those doom scrolling people that you subscribe to and start looking for friendlier, happier people who are going to feed your soul instead of make it dark. So the tree of life is also about stretching into a new identity, right? And that's what this whole podcast is about, is stepping into the story your soul is guiding you toward. That is part of your new identity. And there's times when you're reconnecting with lineage or ancestry. You grow in two different directions at once, deeper and higher. And if you're feeling stretched right now, you're not alone. Your roots matter just as much as your branches. And as humans, we're judging so much of the branches, the stuff we can see, and we need to stop. We need to stop. Because there's times where we really focus on the roots and getting that foundation. So when it's time to go up to the branches, we are ready. But when we're judging people, we're not seeing what's underneath the ground. We're seeing the branches. And I had not planned on talking a lot about this judging, and I am being told by my higher self, my intuition, that this is a key piece. So there's some of you out there who really need to hear this. And a lot of times when we're judging, not a lot of times, most of the times when we're judging, it's really a mirror about us. And there's something about that we need to fix within ourselves. But it's so much easier to see flaws in other people. So if this is like kind of hitting on you and you're feeling some fluttering, or you're like, yeah, I think I'll change. Let's hit the fast forward, hit that 10-second fast forward button. This is for you. I'm sorry. It wasn't the plan, but there's pieces of us that when we see them in other people, they annoy the heck out of us. And those are usually things we have to do. And it may not be that specific thing. It's usually tied to it in some capacity. Let's transition a little bit. And let me share a story of how the tree of life showed up in my own life unexpectedly. So a while ago, I was talking to my daughter. She's an adult. And we were having a conversation, and it was just normal, everyday conversations that you have. It was nothing heavy. And she was telling me something that she was trying to navigate and figure out. And I listened, and I could feel two things happening inside of me at once. Part of me was rooting down. I was trying to stay steady, grounded, and present. I wanted to hold her so she felt supported, and it could be soft and not judgmental. And another part of me was stretching, because that's something I'm working on. Is not, maybe this message is all just for me. I've been trying to work on, just meeting people where they're at. And I was reaching for a new level of growth within myself. And I realized I was being asked to grow right alongside her. And that this moment, my roots were growing, my branches were growing. And it was really, I remember going back and thinking that this is the tree of life. This is me doing that. This is me growing in different directions with different lessons, but still something that needed to be done. So this is kind of what it feels like to grow in two different directions at once, deeper and higher, inward and outward, all at the same time. I know it's a lot to comprehend because humans, we want to think just linear. It's hard for us to think in all these different dimensions, but that's what is happening when we're growing. And your life is not asking you to choose between which direction you're growing, inward, outward, up, down. It's asking you to integrate it. Because it's great to learn this stuff, but then we have to start integrating it and becoming those people who are learning that and walking it. So let's do a little bit of a tapping into the tree. So trees grow slowly, right? And they're very deliberate. The roots reach down in the dark. They're looking for fertile soil, not just sand. They want soil that has nutrition. They're looking for nourishment. They're looking for water. And branches are reaching up towards the light, right? Those leaves want to get that sunlight and that warmth. And storms can come, seasons change, but the tree remains. Things happen. It lets go of the leaves because when winter comes, it no longer needs those things. And we have to let go of things that we no longer need, just like the tree. And then it kind of goes into a hibernation in the winter, and it pulls its resources back into its trunk and its roots. And then when spring comes, it starts opening back up again, right? And when it was working on those roots, it actually is preparing itself for spring. And there are times in our lives where it gets dark, where we are in the winter, where it feels like you are by yourself. But I want you to know that you are not alone. We are here with you. This is a good segue for talking about a little bit about my membership, because it's a place where you can come and be supported with others going through the same process, and you can feel connected and have growth. And it's a place where you can deepen your branches or deepen your roots, expand your branches, and just create a safe space where you can grow. Each month we gather for a healing or activation, different types of things. And it's really about expanding and honoring the journey you're on, and have a place to share that. So if you've been craving something like that, if your soil has been dry and sandy and you need something better to help support you, the membership is a great option. And if you're not ready for that, that's great. Take what you need from this episode. But let's transition back to what I want you to practice this week. It's simple, grounding, something that honors your own tree of life within you. It's called the root and reach practice. So first, what you can do is place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. Take a breath in and blow it out. And just visualize roots growing downward from your feet, going down into the soil. You can hear and see the little grains of dirt and soil and sand moving as your roots grow deep and wide. And visualize your branches going up and out, strong, stretching upward. And ask yourself, where in my life am I rooted? Where am I reaching? And let the breath between those two moments of rooting and reaching just be. You don't have to choose between rooting and reaching. You can do both. But trust the part of you that knows how to grow. You're allowed to take your time. And then over the next few days, tap in and see, what am I rooting in and what am I expanding in? And it can be the same, it can be different. As we close, I just want to honor the tree of life within you. And I say thanks for our roots, branches. Bless the trunk that holds it all together. You're allowed to grow slowly, and you're allowed to grow in different directions all at once. May your roots be nourished, and may your branches be brave. Until next time, walk gently, listen closely, and keep stepping into your story.